What's up, beautiful people? It's your host, Devonna Butler, and this is Her Freedom Project podcast, where we sit down with real leaders who've built real lives from strength, humor, pain, and purpose. Today's guest is a woman whose talent shows up long before she even speaks. She is a licensed hairstylist, the creator of her own hair care product line, and a woman who is beyond building a beautiful following on social media, not because she's trying to, but because she's naturally magnetic. She's funny, she's fearless, she's authentic, and she has a story that deserves to be heard, not just watched in clips. I'm honored to have her here today. Everybody welcome Cabria Anderson Patterson. Yes.
Yeah, that'll work too. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. How are you? Thank you for coming on the show.
I'm blessed.
That is so good.
Thank you for
I've
having me.
researched so much about you. And first of all, let me say I am a fan. I am a follower. I follow you on all platforms, even YouTube.
Appreciate
Follow
it.
her on YouTube, y'all.
Appreciate it. We're
Yes,
gonna be
let's get
expanding
that.
on
Let's get that
YouTube.
following
Yeah.
going on YouTube because that's what we about. You know, like we're about spreading the business, spreading the wealth, the knowledge, everything.
Yeah.
So, who is Cabria Anderson Patterson?
I am. Cabria is a warrior. You know, I look at myself as a warrior, but very powerful. A storyteller, somebody who took her pain and turned it into purpose. Something a mindset I had to have at a very young age, just to really.
What age did that? What age did that happen?
I
for
would
you?
say I started understanding that in high school.
Okay.
Yep, in high school that. And so, you know, I'm born and raised in Vegas. I'm a motivator to those around me. Never been a person who liked winning and sitting around people who wasn't, you know.
Right.
So I'm the person that's gonna motivate you to win and accomplish what you need to accomplish.
I love that. What's
Yeah.
your sign?
Leo.
Leo.
Yeah.
Yes, the lion.
Yeah.
The lion. I love it. When did you start to know? Because I know you're a hairstylist.
Yeah.
So that was probably the first thing that like shaped your professional career right now today. And like when did you know that you wanted to do hair? Because I'm a hairstylist too.
Okay.
And I did not want to do hair. I was kind of forced into it, and then you start to see that your hands are able to do things that you didn't know were possible, and then you just kind of go into it. That's how it happened for me.
Yeah.
How did it happen for you?
So actually, before I started doing hair full-time professionally, I got my degree in marketing from UNLV, and I worked in corporate for 7 years. And then hair was always something I did on the side. But I really started doing hair when I was 11.
Okay.
So parents was really dropping their kids off at the house to get their hair done. Then they was like, wait, this little girl know what she doing. Let me make an appointment. And so I was just
They
doing,
always put the kids on us first, huh, to see.
yeah, look, and I was cool with it. I was like,
And
cool,
then you can do
know.
mine.
Yeah,
But
so I
11?
started at 11 actually
Wow.
making money to do hair. I remember taking myself school shopping for the 8th grade. Like I had saved up all my little money. And so I started hustling young, and getting
entrepreneur.
into business young. And so it wasn't until you know, my passion for entertainment was really taking off, and working a 9-to-5 just didn't cut it anymore. So I used hair as my platform.
Yeah.
It's one of my passions, but it wasn't like, oh, this is the number one thing I want to do. But like you said, you know, it's a gift. You see that your hands can do things that other people's hands can't do.
Yeah.
And why not do it if you can, you
Yeah.
know? So
And
that's
I was
how
in
I
a
got into it.
situation where my mom was like, she was so funny because I grew up in Louisville, but everybody so far that I've had on my show has grown up in Vegas. So y'all
Yeah.
are teaching me so much about the city. I've been out here for almost 16 years.
Oh,
But
long time.
I'm still kind of learning the city. I really don't know the North too much, but I'm learning as it gets kind of rebuilt. I don't want to say rebuilt, but yeah, it's being rebuilt. So I have family that's moving out that way. Beautiful, beautiful communities they're building up over there. So
Absolutely.
I can't say that I won't ever live in the North, the new North, but right now I'm so Southwest, it's crazy. I almost
Yeah.
live in California.
Yeah. You deep. You
No, I'm deep
out
off
there.
in it.
Yeah.
But I love talking to y'all because it's like I feel like sometimes the culture out here is just a little bit maybe watered down, or I don't want to say watered down because the leaders, the black leaders that we have out here are strong.
Yeah.
And especially the ones that I tune into, especially on 88.1,
Yeah.
that radio station, you know, like it feels like home to me because you can tune into all the things that's going on in the black community,
100%.
not just the community,
Yeah.
but our community.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's be honest, Vegas has its own communities. It's like a I don't know. It's a melting pot in the real sense of it, but you have other ethnicities and everything else. And one thing I wanted to ask you that I kind of have learned since being out here, but you may have known because you've been out here and you grew up out here doing hair. Was there a preference that you had in like styling and working with hair, like braiding or extensions, or as far as like even ethnicities? Because back home where I grew up, I only had black and white hair to practice on. Really, you know, like it's in Kentucky.
Right.
Wasn't a lot of other cultures out there to practice on. But then when I moved out here, I'm like, what is this Ethiopian hair? This is 7 heads of hair on one head. What? Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't know Asians get braids.
Yeah.
And so it's like you open up, you don't really know how it's going to look at first, but you know, you're like, I know how to do it, so I'm going to do it for you. And then that's how we going to grow it. And that's how I grew my business. But was there like, because you grew up with all the textures of hair.
I did.
That I just was hit with when I moved out here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to retwist white locks.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it was that. Have you ever had that type of situation?
Oh, my clients come from all walks of life. Like you
Yeah.
said, Vegas is a melting pot. So very early on, I was messing with all textures.
Yeah.
Not afraid of none of the textures. So yeah, that's been my experience.
I
haven't
just
had a
kind of
problem with
saw
it.
that when I moved out here, like some people just can't, or they feel like they can't. I always say can't means I won't, but can't means I won't. So you can do it if you try. But I own a barber shop, and I have some barbers who just don't do well with white hair or don't do well with black hair. Like some of my Mexican barbers, they don't
Yeah.
feel comfortable with black hair and I'm like, when do you try? You got to try. Like you're leaving
gotta
a lot of
try.
money on the table doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that was my preference. You know, like you said, when you do come in this industry, you do get to choose. You do get a preference. So for me, I was like, well, no, I want to know how to deal with all the textures, you know. So I was never afraid of that.
Okay.
Because I watched my mom do it too. Shout out to my mom.
Your
She had her
mom's a
salon out here for 35 years, Smooth Operators.
Still open.
Yeah,
Shout out
we're in the
Smooth
suites
Operator.
now. Yeah, shout out Smooth Operators. So that's where I get it from. I watched my mom do it for years. So yeah.
I hope my kids pick that up from us. My husband's a barber too, so we work together in our shop, but it's like
Yeah.
we don't want our kids to follow in our footsteps. Not this side. We want them to follow in the entrepreneurial side,
Yeah.
but not so much, you know, the standing behind the chair.
My mom, that was a big thing. She was like, I want you to go get your degree and stuff first. You know, you can always do hair later, because they have a program out here where you can graduate high school and graduate with your cosmetology license at the same time. And I had a choice between that program and another program that allowed me to start college while I was still in high school. She was like, do the college one. And so that's what I did.
What school did you go to?
So I went to El Dorado, but community college high school is a thing that a lot of people don't know about.
I don't know. I'm
you
looking
can
at high
actually
schools
start
right now for my 8th grader, but it's the Magnet Tech high schools,
Which is
and there
fine.
is one that has the cosmetology program, but
Yep,
she's a dancer, so
Vo-Tech.
she wants to go more towards
Something
the
like
dance,
that.
yeah, the performing arts. But just having to look through all of those schools and
Yeah.
stuff, I'm like, I
Look
didn't
into
know.
CSN High School, and I know Nevada State High School does it now, but what'll happen is her junior year, she'll start her freshman year in college at the same time. And so you actually attend the CSN campuses. You are a college student while still having high school. So they all have like a little high school on each campus, and she could graduate 12th grade with her associate's degree at the same time.
So you did them both at the same time. You did cosmetology and
No,
started your college?
no, no. I went into the college, so that's why I said I got into corporate for 7 years, and I didn't get my license until it's been 12 years since I've been professionally licensed. Okay. So I got it down the road and went into the salon because ultimately it was like, no, God was like, this is your platform. Right. This is your platform. Go over here so that you can still have the freedom to do the other things that you're working on. So that's what I did.
That's cool. Because when I got my cosmetology license, I did time in prison. Mm-hmm. So they had that program, and then they had the college programs that were available as well. Yeah. But I graduated, and I was like, well, you have to have a daytime job, and then college didn't come till night, and college wasn't a paid, like, they didn't pay you to go to college, but they did pay you to go to school. So I was like, wait, I could just go to cosmetology and go to college. So I got my associate's degree, then my cosmetology license, and then my bachelor's degree. Nice. But I always leaned on the cosmetology part. I just felt like the money was a little more consistent. Yeah. And I was like, I can kind of not necessarily make my own hours, but I can be more flexible in what I want to do. Yeah, I understand. So I leaned more on that. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I might want to go back to school. I might want to finish my psychology degree, but I always felt like that I applied it behind the chair. Yeah. Because our clients come in with so much, just like it ain't even got to be a lot. It just, they just come in with an energy that
different energies throughout the whole day.
It's a lot, and it's a lot on us. So I was always grateful that I did that part of my life and took the psychology degree a little more seriously, even though I didn't put it to use professionally. I did put it to use behind the chair, and I still do to this day. Like, I just feel like anytime I stand behind the chair, when people sit down, they do kind of confide in us, to an extent.
No, they do.
It'd be a lot. It go from one client's parent passed away, the other client's about to have a baby. Like, it just shifts throughout the day. So
relationship issues.
Yes, relationships. Those people.
And then somebody come in, the energy's up, and this person is sad. Now you got to kind of adjust to what they got going on. Like, you really do become
the unpaid, unlicensed therapist.
Yeah, and just like a studier of people, like really understanding different personalities, which is why I work good with so many different personalities because of what I've done,
and I feel
for
like
years.
Too, like, once we get so deep into what we do behind the chair, we can kind of learn how to gauge those clients. Because the same way the client looks for us, we have a right to choose and be like, And a lot of that is read off of the energy.
100%.
So I've learned that through the years too. And then one more thing for the people who are coming up, the young girls who are coming up in the hair industry, what's something that you would share with them before we shift gears a little bit? Just something that you could give them to encourage them, or just somebody who's in cosmetology or just in our industry.
I would say that what I've learned and seen in the industry is, even if you are the best, right, at the styles that you do, you still have to have customer service, good customer service, because Amen. I've seen people who were really good at what they did, but the customer service was so bad, they just couldn't really keep a clientele because those clients are coming in to feed off your energy too. Yes. So understand that you don't have to be the best, but it's the experience you're providing for your client when they come that they get hooked to on top of what you're doing for them. You know what I'm saying?
No, I love that. That's so important. That's so important in our industry, and it's so overlooked. And I think that's something that they should really do a little more focusing on in school is the customer service part. Yeah. Because I feel like the customer service maybe gets 2 pages in my ladies. And then it's like, let's go on to the other stuff.
Because that's the biggest thing in growing your career. And also the other thing I would say is, if there's a specialty you're good at, I've seen people make a great clientele, make a great living off of that one thing they know how to do. If wigs is your things, or weaves are your things, or locks are your things, like, don't feel like you have to know how to do everything. Yeah. Just do the best you can with what you can do.
Yeah. I agree with that too. So we're going to shift gears, y'all. I want to go to her social media presence. I want to talk about that. So when did you know? Like, when was it like, okay, I got it. This is what it is. Because when I first started watching you, when I was doing my research on you, everybody was talking about Dragonfly Jones. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I know her from those skits. But as I'm scrolling through your pages, I'm like, no, that's where I know her from when you would do the boundary contact between
with me and my husband.
Yes, with you and your husband.
Yeah.
Girl, that would have me cracking up. And I'm telling you, girl, I was sharing with my husband.
Yeah.
I would just that's when I found you. So I don't know how long ago that content was before Dragonfly Jones, but once I realized who you were outside of Dragonfly, I was like, no, this is my girl. Like, this is my girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me when you felt like
social media for me really started. Oh my gosh, I've been clowning on social media for years. Like, you could go back 2014, like, and so it really started with that when I realized, okay, the things that I think are funny, they think are funny too. So I've always been a lover of comedy. I have always been a comedian and just clowning and just enjoying the humor that I find in life, you know. And so, you know, when I would see people in public and they would be like, hey, I saw that video. And, you know, they can repeat back to me what the video was about. And, of course, the likes, comments, and shares and stuff. I was like, okay, it's hidden. I'm going to keep doing this. And it makes me feel good because I love to laugh and I love making other people laugh.
Has it brought in more clientele for you as even like sponsorships? What doors has the platforms opened for you and what you do, your entrepreneurship?
I would definitely say the networking that it's given me has been great because I've gotten some great opportunities from brands and working with the social media companies themselves and getting opportunities that I wouldn't otherwise get if I wasn't a social media content creator. So it's been really good to me, and I still believe it's only the beginning. I'm grateful for, you know, the praise I get for what I do. But I still look at myself as like a small fish in a big pond. Yeah. I'm like, hey, it's still, you know, I'm still in the beginning of this. So
many questions are running through my mind. Okay, girl, what does it take to get prepared for Dragonfly Jones? Whenever you do the skit, like, does it take a long time? And like, what's involved in that makeup? All of that.
It's so quick because I know exactly. I'm like, do the teeth, put the mustache on, put the outfit on, stuff the stomach, put my little belt on, you know, decide if I'm going to be using my nunchucks or not. And then that's it. It be so quick sometimes just because that's just a character. It's just in me. You know what I'm saying? So I go right into it. Sometimes I do it. I'm like rushing to get to the salon. So I get up real early, shoot a couple skits, and then I change, you know what I mean? Go to the salon. Yeah. So, but yeah, I do still have to get in character. And some people be like, pull up. And I'm like, wait, I still got to change.
Right. I got to put my balding cap on.
Yeah, my bald cap. Like, it is a process.
Put my mustache on. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a process.
I love that. Okay. And you play other characters too on your social media, right?
Yeah, like I just started doing Otis from Martin. And then
who does? Is it Bob from accounting?
Bob from marketing. My husband.
Marketing. Huh? Okay. All right. Because me and my husband. What's your favorite Martin episode?
Oh, that's so hard. I don't know.
One gotta go.
An episode?
Yes.
Like a Martin.
All time.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I'll give you time to think. I'll tell you mine. Okay, so me and my husband all day, probably at least 5 times a week, we quote the episode where Varnell Hill, Varnell, we love you. When he was like, will you be in LA? If you were in LA, you'd be on my show.
Yeah.
So that one, so we quote that one all the time. That's probably my all-time favorite episode. Other than people always saying I look like Gina. I've
I
heard
was
that
gonna
my
say,
whole
Gina,
life.
I see you in there. I see you in there.
No, we got to do a skit then.
see
You
you
got
in
to
there,
figure me
Gina.
something out. All right, the makeup's already done.
Yeah, that's funny.
My whole life, but it was
Yep,
even
I
when
can see that.
was it School Days that she played in? I don't remember, like one of her earlier, maybe even House Party.
Okay.
I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And she was probably a teenager, young adult. And people were like, you look just like Tisha Campbell. Ever since I was a little girl. And I mean,
see it.
everybody sees it except me, but we never see our twin.
I
see it a little bit.
Yeah. You like, I see a little something.
I see a little
up in
bit,
there.
the wide smile. I see it a little bit, but like people are like, even your gestures sometimes are kind of like hers. I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
maybe I need to meet her, have her on the show with Dragonfly Jones.
We gonna speak that in.
Speak it in. What was it like meeting Martin?
Oh my gosh. So that was.
And we're off script, by the way. Everything I sent you, we're not even talking
Right,
about
right.
that.
We just
It's
going with
just
the flow.
flowing at this point.
No, it was pretty dope. It was a surreal moment. He didn't even, he was like, you Dragonfly Jones? Because, of course, I was dressed differently. And, yeah, he was just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had just finished the show. So, you know, I know it's a long day that goes into that. And it was hundreds of people in line waiting to talk to him and meet him. So it wasn't like a super intimate, you know, long moment, but it was a quick, like,
Yeah.
Good job, and
Got
to, meet some people from his team and stuff, and that started following me. I'm following them and stuff. So yeah, that was cool.
That's so cool.
It was cool.
And where can people follow you at?
Cabria Patterson, at Cabria Patterson on Instagram and TikTok, and then my hair page is Cabria Lynn, CabriaLynn, and that's where you can see all my work. And then that'll take you to my hair products for Love Your Roots.
Love Your Roots.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Love Your Roots.
Yeah.
Because I saw that on the your Instagram profile, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So what made you decide to want to start making your own products, and what was that process like? Because I've tried to dibble and dabble in a few things, and I always get about to the packaging part, and then it's like, okay, I need an assistant. Okay.
I never thought I would do that. I didn't know I would get into products because my mom owned a beauty supply at one point. And I was like, oh, this is just too much inventory. It was just always so much, So nevertheless, getting into hairstyling and seeing that, a lot of Black women don't know what products to use on their hair. And we end up with a whole collection of stuff because we're just always trying different things. And being that I was a hairstylist, I'm having to recommend products. I'm like, okay.
And then sometimes the formulas change, like in the commercial products.
Exactly.
The formulas change.
They
and
start
it's like,
changing because they sell,
wait a
and a
minute.
lot of these companies, they want to get the cheapest ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So they start, watering down the products, and now it's not the same ingredients that you once had. So I saw that there was a need. There was a need there. And then also me as a 2-time cancer survivor and, being on daily medication for that and the effects it can do to my hair, I was like, okay, we're going to make something that is strong, that does what it says it does, that's not harsh on the hair. And that's how I created Love Your Roots. And so the process, it took 3.5 years to get my products out and ready to be consumed by my customers. That was God just guided that whole thing, because when it hit me, I just started asking questions. Actually, one of my clients, I was like, do you know anybody? Because she's a doctor, and a lot of doctors, they have to take chemistry and stuff. So she was creating her own candle line at the time. So I'm like, you know how to, do products and stuff? She was like, nah, girl, but it's a girl I follow you can look up. Her name is the Sister Scientist. And so I reached out to her, and, finally we all had a meeting
Maybe
on
she
the
can
phone.
help me with my beard oil.
Yeah, it was a very expensive process, but that's because of the route I took. They do have, you know how you can white label and private label products.
Yeah.
So
Because
I
that's
wanted
the part.
mine
That's
to
where
be,
I usually get discouraged.
yeah,
Is
and
the
so
labeling and the packaging.
is the labeling, and so they did everything
What was
when
it
it comes
again?
to
I'm gonna find it right
packaging.
now, sister.
So it's MC Group. That's the name of the company. I can send you.
Do they have a Insta?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Okay.
Yep,
For sure.
and make sure you have it
Yeah.
before I leave. But yeah, MC Group. I went through them. I told them what I wanted the products to do. It was a long because they had to ship stuff. Like we really worked hand in hand to figure out what ingredients, what the products were going to smell like, what everything was going to look like. But they help you through that process. And so the route that I took, it was a heavy investment, but they also have it where you can just, license what they have, build your brand from there,
And
like
you're
a
not
lot
on
of
your
people did.
own.
And
They
you're not
kinda-
on your own.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
doing it by myself, just YouTube University, me and YouTube, and just
Yeah,
trying
I
to
was-
figure it out. And it was
listen.
like, and I'm like, every time I get to this one particular part where it's where you start testing the product, because you have to pay for those tester kits. And I'm like, I ain't no scientist, but I know what our hair needs. I know what hair needs.
Yeah.
And I know the science of hair. I just don't know the science of the products
Yeah.
that I want to use. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where the packaging was always
Yeah.
a uphill stride for me.
Yeah.
But
And it was important to me. That's why it was important to me to get a chemist.
and then I wanted because
Yeah.
I do know that you are a breast cancer.
No. I didn't have breast cancer. I had thyroid cancer.
Okay. Can we talk about that a little bit? Yeah, because I'm always like, you never know.
Yeah.
You always do the checkups. You always go to the doctor visits. And
Yeah.
you just never know. So let's talk a little bit about that and what that journey was like, because I know you were still working. You were still grinding. You were still building.
I was, yeah.
Nothing stopped.
Nothing stopped, and that is something I learned, that life does not stop for your healing. It keeps going.
Hold on, that's preaching. Life
Yeah.
does not stop
It
for
don't
your
stop for
healing.
It
Okay.
don't. It don't. You learning to navigate through the fact that life just isn't gonna stop. I was young the first time I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was diagnosed with cancer after advocating for myself as a young 19-year-old woman, deciding not to listen to the doctors and to listen to what my body was telling me, because I had 3 ultrasounds on my thyroid that told me I did not have cancer, and I could have walked away and tried to live my merry life. But I said, nah, something's not right. Not that I wanted cancer, but I knew, I'm feeling this in my neck. It's painful. You guys are saying it's not cancer. Let's just go ahead and take it a step further and get the biopsy. And so that's what I did. And I literally had to advocate for that, because my doctor at the time, she's like, you're fine. At biopsy, she's giving me all these statistics, and we were yelling like in the office. And I'm like, what is the problem? I have insurance. Like, are you getting commission to not allow me to get the biopsy? Like, fill out the paperwork, So she did, and it was stage 4 cancer. They did the biopsy, and it was stage 4 cancer.
At 19 years old.
At 19 years old. And so I was, oh my goodness, navigating through that at such a young age. Like you said, I was going to school full time, working full time, and now coming to this reality of me being sick with something that could be fatal, Right. It definitely changes your perspective. It changes the things that matter to you, the things that don't. And so luckily, I'm a big believer in God, and I just chose to be positive throughout that process and to control the things that I could and the things I could not, just to let it go.
How long was that process? Did it take you a few months, a few years? And then you
Oh, the
said 2 times.
process.
You said 2 times.
Yeah.
So when?
That was 4 years later when I had the reoccurrence and found out it was back. And so, you know, it is a process because it takes a toll on your body. Yeah. And so it takes a while for you to really start feeling like yourself again, you know, and feeling strong. And so, that did take years. And so, to get to that place and then find out there was a reoccurrence, at one point I do remember feeling like, oh, is this going to be something that's just going to keep showing up every several years, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I just made the decision to, get in the gym, work out, pay attention to what I was eating more, detox, because I wasn't detoxing. I was like 106 pounds soaking wet, you know what I mean? Right, before all that. So I was used to eating whatever I wanted, when I wanted. And so, but I had to realize my body did not like that. Yeah. So it brought a lot of positive change ultimately, but yeah,
it's
wasn't
so important
easy.
to listen to your body on a lot of those, just things that we feel. And I'm talking to everybody right now, not just women, because men, y'all are worse than us sometimes about going to the doctor and getting your checkup. So I think we all just need to do better about that and listen to our body, because sometimes our body will tell us things or tell us what things don't agree with us that we need to change and make changes about. So I feel like we all need to listen to our body, do our annual checkups. And that was just a little snippet that was, I put that in there, but it's something we all need to do. And especially, as we get older, just paying attention to what our body is telling us, because you literally saved your life.
And don't be afraid to advocate. Don't be afraid to research when doctors say, take this. Some people, you just take it. But it's like, no, look, research what you're taking. Look into this stuff. Look at what they're telling you. Because I did find myself many times having to advocate and say, no, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one. Sometimes you don't even know you have a choice. And you just think you just take whatever they give you. And that's not the case. So I learned that very early.
I'm learning it through other survivors. I haven't battled with cancer, but I just know a lot of people that have. And some people choose, to follow the doctor's orders, and some people choose to do the holistic route. Mm-hmm. And I just, like you said, I think listen to your body. Mm-hmm. And if your body is agreeing to whatever you choose, keep doing that. And tap into God, just saying, because he gonna help too. But I think all of those things make you the beautiful person that you are today.
Thank you.
The survival, just the entrepreneurship, and having things happen so fast in your life at such a young age that made you make decisions and made you advocate for yourself. So I just want to thank you so much as we running out of time. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time out, because we didn't know each other before today. But I thank you for coming on the show, and I honor you. And I'm so glad that you bring laughter to social media. And, that's really, honestly, I don't know why a lot of people are on platforms, but when I'm on there, I'm just trying to unwind. Yeah. Sometimes I just get lost in doom scrolling. Yeah. I call it brain rot, but when it's humor and it's something that's uplifting you from everyday life and everything that's going on every day, like my kids are always in my ear, and I'm just like, I love y'all. Let me scroll. And when I find the funny stuff, that's what gets my follow. Like if I go on your page and it's consistent and I'm just like laughing, you get my follow. Like it don't take much. Like I'm not hard, but it don't take much. It's just that consistent. I know maybe when I log in, I'm going to find a skit from you that's going to go in my feed, and it's just going to brighten my day. So I thank you for that, bringing that to the world, bringing laughter to the world. And just one more time before we go, tell my audience where they can find you at, where
Yeah.
they can follow you and laugh too.
So you can follow me at Cabria Patterson on Instagram and TikTok, Cabria Anderson on Facebook, and then Cabria Patterson on YouTube as well. I'm a hairstylist. My salon suite is in North Las Vegas. This is really what I do full time outside of the content. You can follow my hair page at Cabria Lynn, Lynn. If you go to any of those pages, you will be able to connect to my other ones as well. And then Love Your Roots Hair Care. I do ship all over. So if you don't want to come pick it up, you can order online and I'll ship. LoveYourRoots.com.
Yes, loveyourroots.com. She ships. You can pick it up however you want to do it. You got all the information. If you don't, just hit rewind and she'll tell you all over again. But thank you guys for tuning in today. This is Cabria Patterson, and I'm your host, Devonna Butler. The work is worth it. So just keep working. Freedom will come. Thank you. Love you. Bye.